This session is just for you, the early career starter, the postgraduate, and the undergraduate students, with that answer to those burning questions in your heart. And we're here to give solutions to that one thing that has been on your mind. How can I be employable and stay employable in the ever-evolving global space? And with me, I have a distinguished guest who is going to give inspiring answers from her wealth of experience. And I'll just take this opportunity to just thank our guest once again for joining us. We are glad to have you, Mrs. Adeomi Alfonso. Thank you very much for taking out your time and your busy schedule to give us this opportunity.
Thank
Now
you
I'll be
so much,
introducing our
Joseph,
guest.
for having
You're welcome. So I'll be introducing our guest. So ever so often we get the chance to learn from someone who has spent their careers not just climbing ladders, but building bridges for others to thrive. And today's guest is one of those people. Madam Adeomi Alfonso is a dynamic HR and business growth leader who understands that people are the heart of every great organization. With over a decade of cross-industry experience from the oil and gas to FMCG and beyond, she has helped businesses unlock performance by putting strategy and people on the same page. She has advised C-suite executives, led game-changing transformations, and built systems that don't just look good on paper, but actually help people grow, stay, and succeed. Whether it's redesigning how companies manage performance, helping young professionals find their place, or mentoring leaders to lead better, Madam Adeomi Alfonso brings both vision and action to the table. But what I love most is this. She's not just about the HR policies or job titles, but about impact, empowering people and helping others work confidently in purpose. It's an absolute privilege and pleasure to welcome Mrs. Adeomi Alfonso to this session. We are honored to have you, ma.
Thank you so much, Joshua. I so look forward to this session. I hope it's value for everyone's time.
All right. Thank you very much. All right, so we'll be jumping into the questions. We know everybody's very eager to learn from your wealth of experience. So we'll just start with this reality check. In your opinion, Ma, what's really going on in the job market today, especially for the young people?
All right, so as we know it, the future of work is now. In the past, we used to the future of work to be something we were looking forward to, but the future has already come. So what exactly does that mean? In the world of work, a lot of dynamics, a lot of changes are beginning to happen. So we're beginning to see a lot of transitioning from degree and qualification focus to skills dependent. So in the past, you didn't used to have things like the gig economy. We have usual employment contracts. Um, or you have a 2-1, a 2-2, you have to have a BSc or an HND to get into the world of work. But with the future of work, a lot of things is evolving. We are now looking at skills, meaning the job you used to vie for just for graduates alone. In the now of work and in the next few years to come, even a school start holder will be vying for the same job as yourself because the economy now becomes skills dependent and no longer qualification dependent. You begin to see a lot of talent mobility. So you are applying for a job in Lagos, Nigeria. Somebody in Kenya, in the US, in the UK will be applying for the same job as yourself because the world of
Mhm.
work is now looking at the skills wherever these skills are available, irrespective of the nationality or whatever. People then are able to apply, meaning the competition is about to get stiffer. So everyone
Mhm.
needs to brace up. Third one will be the introduction of technology. Well, technology has always been existent, but with AI coming into play and also the evolution of AI, we have seen AI move from just the normal Google and the likes that we are used to the introduction of
Mhm.
ChatGPT. And also, AI is now playing in every aspect of
Yes.
technology that you can think about. So the game has changed. And only people that are future ready, agile, and resilient will survive the now of work that we are in.
Wow, that's so true. You just captured a very big point, especially in the emergence of AI and how that a lot of people are beginning to get scared and panic that it's like AI is coming for their jobs, AI is coming for this, AI is coming for that. So especially for people that are beginning to build their work experience, what do you think employers are looking for in people's CVs? What are the things that make them to be attractive?
All right, so I'm going to answer that question from two different perspectives, right? So if you're an experienced person, meaning you've worked before, whether formal or informally, an employer is looking to see what results did you bring to the table. I don't care
Mm,
what you have done, 1 million and one places you had worked, or the 10 things listed on your job description. That is not what I want to see. I want to see how you have made impact. Whatever you did in that job, how did it affect the business? Why is it important for me to have you? The ideology behind the resume is I want to see as an hiring manager that if this candidate has a track record of success, if he or she has done it before, he would be able to replicate such success in my organization. If your resume,
mm,
when I pick it up, doesn't tell me how you have succeeded in previous roles and make me look forward to you being able to replicate such wins in my organization, then I won't be calling you for next phase of the recruitment. So that is basically what I want to see if you're an experienced person. If you are not an experienced person, I want to see clarity. I want to see that you have a track record of developing yourself. I want to see how you have been able to manage your own journey. So you are not experienced, but I want to see how are you even preparing for the future. So you've
mm,
not yet, and you are just about to enter the formal structured employment space. But what have you done to prepare yourself for that space? Have you interned? Have you volunteered? Have you taken professional courses? Even while you were in school, what role did you play? What leadership position? What did you do? Did you just pass through the school? The school didn't pass through you? What kind of life did you
mm,
live? So those are the things I want to look out for if you're a fresh graduate. I want to see what separates you from the pack. That's the
mm,
summary. What makes you stand out from the rest of the crowd? If you don't have
mm,
any structured experience, why are you different from the millions of graduates that the system churns out yearly? If your resume cannot
mm,
show me that one thing, then you would struggle. And if you're experienced, like I said,
mm,
prove to me that you've done it before and you can replicate success where I work. That is basically, we can now then begin to
mm.
drill down to explain further what these things look like.
Mm. Wow, that's so profound. So if I get you correctly, the emphasis of is about taking advantage of every opportunity you have while you're in school and immediately you go out of school, like internships, volunteering, and different things to just build yourself up. Build yourself up. Yeah, because that's actually very important, just as you have said. And the thing now we now want to now ask ourselves is now that some people are beginning to, get internship opportunities, building up their CV, get certifications, what are the common mistakes that job applicants are making? Because you see some people have these qualifications, right? But their process of applying that it's like there's something mixed up. Please, could you help us get that light?
Okay, so there are so many mistakes. That alone itself can take a whole 1 hour of discussing. So I'm just going to touch
Right.
on a number of them. Most of the time, especially I'll talk about things we've seen prevalent among the Gen Zs that are just entering into the world of work. We've noticed a lot of people do not pay attention to details.
Mm,
So you see something as simple as you are doing a manual application. By manual application, I mean you see those vacancies where they say send your CV to this email address using
mhm,
so as the subject of the email. So I'm
mm,
hiring for a graphic designer. The vacancy is out there, and I say send your resume to this email using the job role and subject, meaning graphic designer should be the subject.
yeah.
Then if you see a fantastic candidate, then send their CV and title the CV Joshua CV. Adeomi
Mm,
resume. I've seen interesting
mm.
things there. Please help me, ma. As the subject, it's not that
Wow.
the recruiter is trying to be wicked, but what happens at
Mm,
the back end for the recruiter? Such a recruiter might be recruiting for 6 different roles. So when they get to shortlisting for graphic designer, all they will put in their email addresses that type which they have told you to use. So job role is what they had
Mm,
asked us to use. So if the role is graphic designer, they will just go into that email and type graphic designer. Anybody that did not use graphic designer as a subject, their CV would not pop up when they are shortlisting. So you had already
mm,
screened yourself out before the game even began.
wow. Wow.
So you have a great CV. You've done everything you were told to do, but just not following instructions, something as simple as that. You see some people that the subject they'll put is job role.
Wow.
These are corporate, and it's just sometimes it's not because of anything. They are just naive. They don't have access to
Mm,
information. But you successfully screened yourself out of the process. Some use their name, some use please help me, ma, and all the other stuff.
mm,
Also, another very popular mistake people make is yes, they use the job role instead, but they forward the email, so that when they are lazy, they don't want to go on the system to go and attach. So the same
yeah.
email trail that they used to apply to Adeomi and Sons, they used to apply to Joshua Limited, they just forward
Mm,
to the next company. So when the recruiter opens it, they can see the 1 million and one places. You are just forwarding, forwarding, forwarding.
wow.
So it just looks like the fact that everybody still found a job after forwarding to 100 people. It shows there's something wrong with you. So I'll not waste my time with you.
Mm,
They've not
mm,
opened your resume. I've not even started talking about mistakes in the resume. I'm still talking about you have not entered the door. You've already disqualified yourself by not
mm,
following simple instructions. Then don't get me started on people that send link their resume as a link. Then when the recruiter clicks the link, it tells you ask for permission. So I have
uh,
600 people that have applied for a job. You think I'll write you to ask for permission? Or while they are being in a hurry or being nervous, I've received people attaching bank statements, I've received people attaching picture of their mom or their girlfriend or whatnot. For me, yes, I know it's a mistake, but the message
mm,
it sends to the recruiter is that you are one that does not do due diligence. Imagine I want to hire you as my accountant. You are chartered and all of that. But just to attach your resume, you made a mistake, you attached a bank statement. I have not started interviewing you. I already feel like you are not going to be someone that is careful enough before you go
mm.
and attach company secrets to a third party.
Right.
Those kind of things are not in school. We just
Mm,
even opened the resume. Look at the numerous ways people shut themselves out of the process.
mm,
Let's now even by time the let's by stroke of luck, you even attach a resume, the subject, the body is blank. There is no dear hiring manager. There is nothing, no message, no good day, no nothing, no courtesy. Just attach, send. One of my hiring
mm.
manager friend once said, if you do not have the time to even say dear hiring manager or dear recruiter, I also do not have the time to be opening
To
your resume.
respond already. I mean,
It sounds petty. It sounds petty, but I mean, human beings. And we are still talking
mm,
about manual application. Let's now
yeah.
go to automated application. And by the time we start talking about that, we are talking about a lot of technical stuff. Because when
Mm,
you're applying via ATS, the automated one that will upload your resume and the like, you find
mm,
people uploading a resume that the moment you open it, the hiring manager opens it, their graphs, their colors, there's their picture that is snapped in a lovely studio, uploaded
mm.
into it, that even already makes the CV too large for the ATS to view.
Yeah.
Except you're doing a modeling job or something, you
Mm,
really have no business with all of that. And those are still fair. We've not even started talking about the content of the resume. But you now find
mm,
people successfully uploading, the hiring manager gets to, okay, let me review. In recruitment, it takes the very first time I see your resume, I will take less than 10 seconds to scan it. And
mm,
say the very first time your CV lands in my presence, I look at it in less than 10 seconds. And I can tell you what are the things that would help catch the attention of a person in 10 seconds. Joshua, if you pick up
mm,
a book that has thousands of letters in it, psychology has it that the first things that will jump at you on the page of that book are numbers.
yeah.
Remember that the whole book is filled with letters. There are
Mm,
different alphabets written everywhere. But anything that looks like an anomaly in that page is what will jump at you. That is why numbers
mm,
will jump at you. But will jump at you. Such things will jump at you. That's why hiring managers will tell you that when you're talking about your achievements in your resume, don't come and tell me about your JD. Talk about what you were able to achieve. And do that in numbers. There's a difference between when you write in words 3 million naira and when you write naira sign 3 million. That number
Mm,
jumps because there's a lot of words on that paper, and the person has less than 10 seconds to either beam you or move you to the next level.
mm.
So
Wow.
that is even when we begin to look at the contents of the book. Have you met people that forget their phone number on the resume? People that type their email wrongly? So I've read the content. You're a great candidate. How do I reach you when your phone number is wrong or your email address is missing? So the recruitment process has not started, and then you are wondering. I tell people when I want to diagnose, when I'm coaching clients, and they tell
Mm,
me, oh, they book a coaching session, I tell you, I will first of all diagnose what the problem is before I begin to give you medication. Oh, I've been looking for a job for more than 2 years. I haven't been able to get one. Awesome. In the last 6 months, how many roles have you applied to? Then they go, oh, if your problem is that you have applied to a lot of them, how many interviews have you gotten? You say none. There's a problem with your resume or your application process. If
wow.
you say that, oh, I apply to jobs, I get invited to interviews, but I don't proceed beyond the interview, then there's the problem with your interviewing process.
Mm,
Oh, I get all the interviews, but when it comes to them giving me an offer, they're radio silence. Then there's a problem with how you negotiate.
mm.
So depending on the situation, we can identify the root cause and we can solve the problem. But like I said, if I begin to trash the different things I've seen, we'll sleep here today. So I'd rather stop there.
Wow, wow. Just these few minutes, you've unpacked so much from the basis of taking the appropriate headers, putting support mails to push forward the application letter, the courtesies of their HR hiring manager, to also the interviewing process. So, and it's like you said, it's just a lot. And this got me thinking, man, is there something like a quota for people that apply earlier? Because it seems like when a job opportunity just comes out now, before, especially on LinkedIn, you just see in 15 minutes, 1,000 applicants, something, something, something. Is it that those people that have applied first have a higher chance of getting viewed or followed up on? Please, can you shed light on that?
Okay, so what happens with LinkedIn is most most hiring managers use the free version,
Okay.
meaning LinkedIn would push that vacancy. Once that vacancy hits a particular maybe 50 applicants, LinkedIn shuts it down so that they will go get the
Mm.
paid version. And even
Ah.
when you use a paid version, even when you use a paid version, I posted a role on paid version recently, and in 30 minutes for that role, I had gotten 100 CVs. Remember, I'll probably just want to interview 5 people. I don't want to talk to 100 people for one role. It's impossible. So by the time I start shortlisting, I would not have even gotten to person number 60 for me to have probably found my 60 people, my 5 people I want to
Mm.
interview rather. So most of the
Mm.
time, it is when I have shortlisted 50, I did not find five that I would then say, okay, let me proceed to the next 50. Now imagine your application is application number 400. But
Ah.
that is where the electronic application comes in, meaning maybe an ATS or application via Google form where the
Mm.
recruiter can filter using some parameters to say, okay, filter everybody that adds 2-1 first, filter people that live in this location, or filter this gender first, you know. But technical process, automated process, or manual process, it is always best for you to apply as early as possible. As early as possible. Because some people will say, oh, when I get home, I will take my time and sit down. By the time you get home, the role is closed. And there are
Mm.
some cases whereby instantly they want to fill that role. So as applications are dropping, they are reviewing. I've been invited to an interview before that I applied for the role maybe 7 p.m. 8 a.m. By 8:30, I had gotten a notification on LinkedIn that the company had reviewed my application. By
Mm.
9 a.m. that same day, 1 hour after, I had gotten an email inviting me for an interview the next day.
Wow.
I attended the interview the next day. 2 hours after the interview, I had gotten another email saying you were successful at that email, confirm availability for a physical interview. Meanwhile, you that saw that vacancy, you say I'll apply tomorrow. Meanwhile, somebody is already on second to the last stage of the whole recruitment process.
Oh my God. Wow.
So that's how it works.
Ah, now it's now like a lot of people are probably now seeing the mistakes that they've been making, all this, laxity or procrastination. Sometimes you want to get the perfect time to settle down, and it's not the same for everybody. It's true. So man, now that you mentioned LinkedIn, what role does personal branding play in job applications? Because I see that based on what you said, if it's like a LinkedIn job post, it seems like sometimes the recruiting managers check through some potential candidates' profile. And it's like the degree to which the profile looks like, there are some things they look out for. So please, could you shed light on that? What are things you would want to see when you are checking out a candidate on LinkedIn?
Okay, so there are some roles. But when I recruit for high-end roles, if you notice, when you're seeing vacancies and all, you hardly find vacancies for jobs that wants to pay 3 million, 4 million monthly. You hardly find them floating everywhere. The
Yeah.
ones that the pay are not good that you see everywhere. But trust me, these great jobs exist in Nigeria. But what happens?
Mm,
Imagine I go to start a vacancy now and I say the monthly salary is 7 million. Even a gardener will apply. Everybody and their village members will apply for that role. So where does that leave? It leaves me
mm,
baffling looking at 7,000 applications and I hardly might even find 10 people that really qualify for the role. So those kind of roles, most of the time we tend to head on for the role because there would be roles that need experienced people, specific skill sets and the like. So what I
mm,
do most of the time is you go on LinkedIn to begin to head on. And when you put in this keywords, say maybe I'm looking for an HR director, for example. If I go on LinkedIn search bar and I put HR director, you might be a great candidate for me, but your profile might not be optimized in such a way that the algorithm of LinkedIn is able to say this person has HR director somewhere on their profile and would push you to me. Let's
mm.
also not forget, which a lot of professionals do forget, that LinkedIn itself is a company that is established to make money.
Yeah.
So what that means is whether you like it or not, LinkedIn will first of all push the profiles of people that make them money. What do I mean? They will push to the front profiles of people that are active on LinkedIn.
Mm,
You know, if you're active on LinkedIn, you make them money.
yes.
So they'll push that. They'll push the profiles of people that have optimized profiles. They would also
Mm,
most times push profiles of people that have maybe premium or something. But whoever brings them money really is where they'll push. So imagine one, your profile is not optimized. The keywords that you're supposed to put on your profile, they are not there. It will still push
mm.
your profile, just that when I'm looking, it will bring the short list. It will bring it in page one, page two, page three, sometimes up to 100 pages.
Yeah.
Your name or your profile might just now be on page 100. Now, tell me which recruiter
Um,
has the time. And do you think by the time they get to page 10, they've not found what they're looking for them to get all the way to page 100? Once I
mm,
even get to page 10 and I don't see, I try another keyword. It shows something is wrong. So you need to make
mm,
sure that as a professional, you are in right standing. Optimize your profile to have everything you want. I tell people that your LinkedIn profile should not be written in such a way that showcases the job you already do currently. You
mm.
should write
Okay.
your LinkedIn profile in such a way that it positions you for both the job you do currently and your next job that you are looking for. So you find
Mm,
people's headline. Maybe currently I work as an accountant in Adeomi and Sons Company. Then you go to their LinkedIn headline and you see accountant Adeomi and Sons Company. No, your career and your job are not the same. Your job is a
mm,
subset of your career. Your LinkedIn is not your job page. It's supposed to be like a
mm,
career page for you. So because your title is accountant at Adeomi and Sons Company, no, that's not LinkedIn is not your company's SharePoint or your company's Teams page. No, LinkedIn is for
mm,
you. So if I want to be found as for accounting role, I'll put accounting. If I want to be found for finance officer, I'll put it. If I want them to, when they're searching trade finance, if I want to pop up, I'll put trade finance. If I want when you're searching for software developer, I'll put everything
mm,
on my profile, such a way that whatever keywords you're looking for, and it's something that interests me, you would find me in that space. So I
Mm.
would not box myself just into a corner. And when they even find you, let me surprise you. I was headhunting for a role 4 months ago. I found
Okay.
very interesting profiles, and I sent DMs to the people. I mean, because I would not, most people would not put their phone numbers, they would not put their email address. So I DM them to say, "Hi, I got this. I have this very fantastic role that I'm sourcing for. Your profile appears to be all that I need. If you're interested in this role, please can you reach out to me at your earliest convenience? Reach me on this number, on this email address, and blah, blah, blah." Awesome.
Mm.
Do you know that out of 10 people that we DM for such opportunities, you hardly find 5 respond in 1 week?
Wow.
Months after, when the person we ended up hiring is already undergoing confirmation process, then somebody reached out to me, "Oh, I'm so sorry. This is my CV. Is the job still available?"
Ah,
How?
no, child.
How? So people open LinkedIn profiles, they optimize it, they pay. They pay people to say, "Let my LinkedIn profile look good," and all of that. And they do that for them. Then they forget it and go. I'm not a social media person. So why exactly did you set it up? You set it
Mm.
up to attract opportunities, but when the opportunities come, you are not there to leverage them. So you can as well just shut it down and go to bed. And
Mm.
some people, in the case of they are even there, their profile looks good, but then while scrolling through their profile, I look at the posts that they drop. In fact, there was one very active on LinkedIn, great personal brand and all of that. I was going to DM this person for for a role. Then I go look at their kind of content. If they are not dragging their ex-employer, they are dragging the government, they are dragging one political party. Yes, we are all political animals. We all have a right to association by law. But there are some
Mm.
things that when it comes to your personal brand and your visibility, you should not put them out there. They do you more harm than good. People pretend to say, "I don't care, I stand for what I stand for." Then you don't have a problem with being passed over for opportunities. A lot of
Mm.
companies don't want controversy, they don't want controversial people. That's why you hear, I've had an MD once tell me to say, "Well, don't hire LinkedIn PR people for me. I don't want," because they end up they are all talks and whatnot.
Oh.
They don't end up doing the work. They don't end up doing this. So yes, the personal brand is good, but also you need to be careful. What are you posting? There are some things when it comes to, okay, during the elections and the like, you don't want to come on social media to begin to say such things. Uh, Let me use another example. I was teaching in a class recently, and I was telling them something about it. Growing your career, you need to be careful. So you currently live in Nigeria. You are looking, and you've been praying to land a remote role,
Yeah.
and most remote roles will be maybe what a remote roles are paid in foreign currency. And then you are the same person that is coming to drag somebody or troll somebody online to say, "Oh, you're a maybe same sex person or something, something." Forgetting that if you work in a multicultural setting, you work remotely for some companies where the country allows such. You've been termed as
Mm.
being homophobic. You've been termed as different names. So you don't align with them. You don't align with their values. And then you have all of these things plastered on your social media. No HR will want to touch you because forgetting you are saying it from the point of, "Oh, you're a Nigerian. These things are not by law in Nigeria, you are within your rights." But forgetting that the opportunity you are looking for rests in another country. And what you
Yeah.
are pushing is against the law of that land. So you need to
Mm.
be careful, even as you build your personal brand. People check, recruiters check. I've gone to an interview before, and towards the end, one of the questions they asked me was about the content that I put up on LinkedIn
Mm.
some time ago. And the person was like, "Oh, you put up this post, and I bet you blah, 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 blah." Luckily for me, it was not like a controversial, it was just a stand. I think the content was about not asking people for pay slip. I feel it just proves that the HR doesn't know what they're doing and all of that. When I went for the
Mm.
interview, I didn't know that that's what that company does. And it's because
Wow.
it's a multinational. The person interviewing me brought it up to say that, "Oh, I saw this post that you put up. And I said it. If your company, well, maybe that's why they didn't end up bringing the offer because I waited for that offer to come. It never dropped.
You
And the
told
thing
them the
is,
truth.
but I told them, I said, well,
Mm,
technically speaking, there's a process in arriving at salaries. There's a
mm,
job grading structure, there's a job evaluation process technically. So if you are doing all that right, you have no business asking for an employee's former payslip because the competencies required for their former job is not the same as the new job they want to take. So why are you asking
mm,
them for their former salary? What you should be looking at is say, this is my budget, or rather ask them what's your expectation in terms of salary. Then see if the expectation and your own budget are in alignment or there's room for negotiation. You might just smile, but no, people this. I might be called a carpenter in my former office, and all I need to do
mm.
in a month is make one chair. And I apply for another company that also calls me carpenter. But in a day, they expect me to make 1,000 chairs. So you are saying because where I'm coming from, they paid me 100 naira. You that want to hire me for 1 million chairs, you will not okay 100 naira for my job. This new job, let me pay you 150. Forgetting that the competencies and expectation are not the same.
Yeah.
But I don't feel bad if they didn't hire me because of that. Awesome, is what it is. So those things exist.
Wow, 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 wow. That's super profound. And I think it's good to even say the truth because regardless, letting your opinions to be heard, it's not a problem. It's just the context. Having an acknowledgement and understanding that where you are, you won't always be there forever. You're going to get promoted, you're going to have different exposure, and it's very important that you're aware of this. And speaking on LinkedIn, because we're both very active on LinkedIn, and she has solid profile. Guys, I'm going to attach her handle after this. Please go follow, please go like our contents and all that. I've also realized that that's actually true. Optimized profile, having a strong brand, let it be like once somebody comes across your profile within the first 30 seconds of scanning through, they already know who you are and they can de- determine whether you are somebody they want to go ahead with. And I think another thing that is important is strategically positioning yourself in places you might attract those people that will be looking out for you. So I've had some people reach out to me from different parts of the world that they saw my comment on another creator's post and they decided to check out my own profile because of that comment. And it's just like you just a meaningful comment here and there, and you go to sleep and somebody from Austria is seeing you, someone from Belgium, right? So I really buy into that ideology, and I know that that's very important. So I know that a lot of people now are now saying, okay, some people now they have that opportunity to go on to LinkedIn. Some they are just like young and they don't even know what they are saying. So if you could go back in time and speak to like your younger self, maybe your 21-year-old self now, and give yourself a piece of advice, what would that be, man?
Hmm. I think for me, that advice would be that if developing a personal brand is not dependent on how much you know.
Mm,
Your personal branding is basically portraying to the world who you are, even while still being on a journey.
okay.
So
Mm,
the need for personal branding is not a call to perfection. It's not really a call to top leadership.
mm,
It's just you saying, this is what I want the world to know me for. And even as I grow or proceed on my journey, come share with me the experience. So coming up younger, I remember then that, I used to be an introvert. I've moved a little
okay.
bit from being an introvert. And I just felt like, what do I
Mm,
know that I want to share? Personal brand. Okay, what do I know that I want to share? I didn't see a need to be visible. I felt like I needed to get to a point in my career. Okay, this is when I have 5 years experience. I can then begin to talk. If you let that guide you, you would never actually come out to say anything,
mm,
right? But I so love what Gen Zs are doing. One ideology for me would be wherever you are in your journey, there are people behind, there are people on the same level as you, and there are people ahead of you. So
yeah.
do not let the fear of limited knowledge or the fear of what will people say or what would I tell people gives me the right or authenticity to talk about this subject. Your
Mm,
your thoughts, your ideas. your opinions will continue to evolve as you grow, as you gather more experience. But you would always have something to say. So if I
Mm,
can look back then, because I remember that I didn't take LinkedIn seriously till about 5, 4 years ago, when I was
mm,
working. I just always felt like compared to ABC, compared to Mr. This, Mrs. This, what do I know? What do I understand the saying? What how
yeah.
knowledgeable exactly am I to say
Exactly.
these things? What gives me the right? But the moment I realized that if you do not begin to speak up, if you do not begin to share your experiences and all of these things tied to your personal brand, the people that are not half as qualified or half as competent as you will be getting the opportunity. Because we
Yeah.
are currently in a digital age. We are in a digital world where visibility is like a currency that drives influence, that drives opportunity.
Mm,
So I did a content that went viral several months ago where I was talking about it was a two-part content. I talked part one about people that come on social media gaining visibility but very low depth.
mhm,
Then the the next content after and people came on, yeah, people don't know anything, they're just coming to share thought leadership. They don't call you see 6 months person, 6 months experience coming to claim authority and all of that. That content went so viral. It was very interesting. Then I came to do a part two to then balance it to say that while you are there saying people that don't know anything, they are cashing out because we are in a digital age.
yeah.
We are in a digital world. Visibility is a currency. So people you claim do not know anything, they are cashing out on opportunities. And you are there, Mr. Know It All. You have nothing to show for it. So show
Wow.
up as you are. But the important thing is be
Mm,
authentic. So if I was to look back, I'll tell myself, I'll probably not be where I am today if I had started way back.
mhm,
I now I just smile. A lot of the interns I have hired in my organization, they found me on LinkedIn. I've had so many interns. But I just look at them and I see the resilience, the audacity. They show up with all boldness. They say, this is who I am. I don't have this experience, but this is what I can do for you. And I just said, internship, awesome. And they already sell themselves to me. Oh, man, this is what
mm,
I want to do. This is why I'm reaching out to you. This is what I hope to learn. And this is why you will not regret if you get me on board.
mm.
Imagine I had been able to do all of that several years ago. I probably won't be where I am today. But even at that, me starting 4, 5 years ago, if I still
It's
not
not too
started, I
late.
probably would not also be where I am today.
Yeah,
So it's,
true.
it's important. Yeah.
Wow, amazing. So there you have it, guys. Start today. Don't waste time. Don't wait till you feel like you are knowledgeable enough to become a thought leader or come out and say you want to build enough authority before people can trust you. Start from what you know. And like she said, allow people to join you in your journey of becoming. You don't have to know it all. Even the top creators on LinkedIn still develop and still grow and learn from everybody. So I feel like some people might just be okay. Now LinkedIn is now looking like a very big deal for people that are probably in university, especially those that are still undergraduates, and they are probably like, okay, where do I start from? What do I do and everything? I feel like if you have questions, you can reach out to Mr. Adeomi Alfonso. You can reach out to me and we can help you put you through in that area because we're reaching a point where personal brands is going to speak much more than what you think in the coming years. Because you see, people don't just want to know the flashy titles or the perfect person. They want to know the you behind the screen. They want to know your personalities, your perspective to life, and other things that makes you you. So I feel like now that you're still in school, you have enough opportunity to get it right and catch up with the tide.
Hey there, quick one before we continue. If this session has been helpful so far and you're starting to see how much LinkedIn matters, don't stop there. You can reach out to me or Mrs. Adeomi Alfonso for more clarity on LinkedIn optimization, personal branding, and career positioning. We're both open to helping you however we can, but there is more. I'll personally be running a free group coaching session for undergraduates, postgraduates, and early career starters on how to optimize your profile, post consistently and intentionally, position yourself for real life opportunities, internships, jobs, collaborations, and building a personal brand that opens doors. It's not just going to be theory. I will be showing you practical how-tos that most people overlook. If there's something that you want to be part of, click the link in the description below or reach out to me directly to join the interest list. You're doing great. All right then, back to the session.
So I think we'll be going into the next section because we had some of you submit questions in advance via the form, and we'll try to go through as much as we can. If we could just indulge us more, we'll be starting with some questions. So this is Luke. He's a recent graduate from Imo State University, and he asked, how can someone apply for a job and stand out? So I know you might have already touched on those points, the key points of taking the headers appropriately, putting supporting letters, but I think maybe he's trying to know if there's an extra thing like his spark. Some people, they go ahead to follow up and send a message to the hiring manager just to convince them or something like that. So please, Ma, would you shed some light on that?
All right. So on the graduates, one major thing that I would say you can do, especially now, like I said earlier on, the number of graduates being churned out year in, year out, it's huge compared to the opportunities that exist. So you need to ask yourself, what can I do to stand out? So for example, let me use myself. When I graduated from Obafemi Awolowo University, and then I
Oh.
looked at it. Even I was in 200 level where I already looked at it to say, you know what? Look at the thousands of people graduating year in, year out. We all want to go and fit for the same test. I, for one, I'm not from a home where I have connections anywhere. So what can I do that can give me an edge? I started my
Mm.
professionals. I made sure that by the time I was also graduating, I was chartered.
Wow.
So that if you ask me, oh, we have so many graduates, how are you different? I'm graduate plus being chartered. That's two. So that I can step
So
forward
two qualifications. Yeah, true.
yeah, so I can step forward a bit. The next thing is you want to, as much as possible, start volunteering. Two things volunteering will help you achieve. Number one, it helps you to begin to build real life experiences. Part two, it helps you to also build a solid network. It
Mm.
helps you build a solid network. In recent times, so many people are getting opportunities that, yes, you are competent, but the only people that know how competent you are your daddy and your mommy. Who else knows? And
Mm.
I remember attending one consulting interview then. And all the questions the consultant for the big four was asking me, I was just like, Uncle, I just arrived. I just graduated. How come? Can you tell me about the time when you, which time? Which time?
Which time?
I just left school now. Who help me? But him
Yeah.
asking years down the line, it made a day, I mean, they ended up hiring somebody. It meant
Mm.
that somebody was able to tell him about the time that I could not tell him about the time, because
Yeah.
they were either volunteering or interning somewhere. So if you're a recent graduate, your focus now should not be money. Yes, you would have
Mm.
some big organizations that the amount they pay their entry level is mind blowing. But not everybody would
Mm.
have the opportunity to get such jobs. So first of all, focus first, chase being able to get experience first. And to stand you out. Intern,
Mm.
volunteer, even if it is free. Intern. I have interns that are interned in my organization that I know that okay, they intern maybe during the holidays or something. Maybe one of them easily I'm accessible to them. You just see them send me what hi mama, I officially graduated. We are going for NYC. Ah, mama, don't forget me. I'm like, it's something I just respond, especially for the ones that perform very well during their internship. I just said,
Yeah.
where are you serving? Come to Lagos, come serve in Lagos, come back and serve with us. And they
Mm.
already know that if you serve with us, except you're a terrible person, you will get a job afterwards.
Yeah.
So I get hundreds of such messages on LinkedIn. I'm looking for a PPA. I don't know you. I cannot attest to your character, your conduct, or your competency. So I might be able to
Mm.
please refer me, ma, please. I can't do that because I really don't know you. But
Mm.
such other people that have proven themselves, and even though it's 3 months internship or this or that, I have people that maybe they've interned with me, volunteered with me as a person, not now in my corporate space, but in my informal space. Then I can refer you. If somebody reaches out to me and say, oh,
Mm.
what can you say about this person? Can you recommend? Then I can do that. So those are the things that can stand you out. Millions of people are graduating day in, day out. So you need to begin to ask yourself. I know of people that have not graduated school yet, but they are taking courses, they are attending training, they are volunteering, they are doing projects, and they're doing it free. I have people that are volunteering with me pro bono. Mama, if you have any projects, please, even if it's for you to just tell me to cancel the I, put the dot, do
You
the
put it in the CV.
I'm available. I'm
Mm,
available to do it. And they do it for no pay. But trust me,
mm,
experience has started building up. If they
yeah.
put the name of my consult in their resume and they reach out to me, yes, they worked with me. And you attest to their competency 100%. And you are still waiting for let's all graduate and start. No, you are graduating on the
Mm,
same day, but these people already have 2 years experience below their belt. So they are not
true,
starting like entry from entry level like you.
true. Mm,
So
that's
those are
true.
some of the things you may want to do. Volunteer, reach out to people. Don't wait for. And also, I like to add that when
Yeah,
it comes to volunteering and interning, a lot of us are waiting for the big names of companies. What happened to your aunt, your uncle that has a small company they just opened up? I remember that's how I built my own informal experience.
yeah.
I reached out my mom's friend, my dad's friend, sir, please, if you want to hire a driver, I'll help you recruit. I'm learning recruitment. I can't even remember the silly questions I was asking. But when I
Yeah.
got to an interview for an HR role, oh, you've never done HR? I said, I've done. They said, which company? I said, it's not a company, but by myself. I did this, I
Yeah.
did this. The man laughed during the interview. He said, so how did you do that? They are taught me in class that this. They are giving us example of questions. So that's what I did. And so how did you know you did it well? My uncle did not complain. The driver worked with him, has been working with
Wow.
him. That's it. He did not, at least
That's
if I
an
did it
A.
wrong, he will complain about the person. And I got the
Yeah,
job.
true.
That was how I
Wow.
landed my first HR job as a manager. And I had never done HR anyway. My very first HR job that I did was a managerial job. So
Mm,
I just moved from zero to manager.
100. Wow.
But I had some
Wow.
form of experience, even though I
Mm,
curated the experience by myself. But I did.
yes. Yeah, true. Wow, that's so profound because I feel like the younger generation now are so eager for money, and it's not a bad thing, but I feel like they are too focused on the money that they are not seeing the opportunities around. Because I feel like the advantage of starting volunteering in school is you're not so bothered about the 9 to 5 life per se. Like you have the same timetable as others, but you can still gain like an extra edge because there are always going to be opportunities. People from outside who want to partner with the school. There will be clubs doing this excursion. They'll be doing this NGO, will be donating, and before you know it, those little things become like a forest for you. Like that example you gave now, I feel like that would have even stood you out because it was a personal experience. No one else can come for an interview and cram that answer. Nobody can give that exact instance, and that's what's going to stick. So, guys, please open your eyes. Opportunities are around you. And I know that once you just start paying attention to that, you begin to see it. So, the second question is Mweze. Mweze is a current student in Rema University, Nigeria. And he asked, how does your organization or any organization ensure that employees not only feel valued, but also have clear opportunities for growth and development within their roles? That one's a
Hmm.
serious question.
Interesting question. But one thing I'm saying, apart from employee engagement, employee
Mm,
engagement, how well are you
mm,
engaging with your employees? I'm not just talking about you're doing today. No, no, no. Employee engagement speaks to how well are you listening to your people and solving or addressing their concerns? Do you know what they really want? How are you engaging with, okay, they told you what they want. Are you telling them what the company is doing, how the company is progressing, the opportunities that can show up, and all of the like?
mm,
Also, what's the mindset of even the organization and the people? Is the organization one that has a mindset to say the people that work here need to grow, need to develop themselves? We need to contribute towards their growth and development. Some organizations will tell you, oh, if I develop them, people will end up, once they are too experienced or too qualified, too competent, they'll go and take up another job. But what if you don't train them and they stay? You end up having an
Mm,
organization that is filled with a bunch of incompetent people.
mm,
So the two needs to work together. I tell people, HR, your job is easy. You really do not need to be racking your brain around what can I do? How can I ensure? Ask them. That's what employee engagement is about. How do you want to be taken care of?
mm.
What would make you happy? And we just assume so many times that it is money, 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 money. Yes, money will always show up in number one to three. But what happened to
Yeah.
the other two options? If
Mm,
money is just one out of number one to three, there's two, there's three. So
mm,
engage your people to know, engage your people to come up with how they want the things to be done. Put them first. Your employees are the heart of the organization. Put them
mm.
first. Let them be involved. Let them be like partners in progress. Yes, people will leave. When they leave, turn them into ambassadors for the organization. They are not the bad people. People would always be. People leave the greatest of organizations for different reasons. But
Yeah.
engage your employees, know what they want. You have cases where somebody is an accountant today, but low key they started taking project management courses or one other course. You would know if you don't engage. It's when you engage
Mm,
them, they not say, "Oh, I've been doing PMP low key." Oh, why are you doing PMP? Okay, but this accounting thing, I'm seeing that my mind is shifting. I still love what I do here though, but if I see
yeah.
the opportunity, to, oh, awesome, awesome. Okay, when the project manager goes on leave, come and study his role, come and review him. Let's see how that goes. If you do not engage,
Mm,
you won't have that information. You just go ahead and hire somebody from outside. If you engage and they like you, oh, great, but still engage as much as you can. That solves most of your problems.
mm. Wow. Wow. That's actually so profound, man. I really love that example. So, the next person, her name is Comfort, and her question is three in one, but I'll try to like chunk it all up together. So, Comfort is a recent graduate from the University of Abuja, and her questions are this: how can you prepare for job tests? Where are the companies that pay high in Nigeria? And how can she get a job outside? So I suppose she's thinking about like a job outside of the country. So
Okay, so how can you prepare for job test? I've not done a job test in more than 10 years, so I'm a bit
wow.
wrong person to ask. There's always, there are different portals or different communities that gives you an idea. Remember that there's one community that I belong to that when they were doing um, the immigration test, when they were doing step test, people were
Mm,
engaging. They say, oh, what the fast questions, blah blah blah. You will find somebody that already has connection internally that has the fast
yeah.
questions. So that is the place of networking and building relationships. I remember when I just finished school then, and
Mm,
we are attending different aptitude tests and all of that. You see, I
mhm.
had a clique, a group. I think we were three friends like that we are all applying for jobs together. Everybody has left in different places. Once they invite us for, and we all had very good grades from school. Once they,
Mm.
okay, first bank test. Oh, yeah, yeah, this first question is the one they are doing. We will share it, we'll practice it together. Ah, okay, okay. You've applied to KPMG. When is your own test? When is my own? After this one, it looks like it is GMAT year 2026 that they're asking us. This one,
Yeah.
we're able to have that information and we're just progressing together. So
Mm,
it's important. I can't direct you to this particular or this workforce. Yeah, so no, 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 I might not be able to do that. So you need to just build a network or a community of like-minded people that have access to this kind of information. I know so many of these ones exist. I think our next question was about
where can she
high
find
paying.
yes, highest paying companies in Nigeria? I think that people want to know this one.
Oh, interesting question, right? A lot of
Mm,
you see them a lot on social media. Like, oh, this bank is paying 500 and this is some are legit and some are not. But let me make something clear to you. There are several high paying organizations in Nigeria, and their names you probably never ever hear of them till you exist here.
yes.
I met someone recently and they told me how much they earn, and I'm like, hold on, where do you work again? The person mentioned the name, I said, I've never heard of it. Where's your office? when he describes the office, I'm like, in that same Ikeja, really? And they make
Wow.
a lot of money.
Mm,
So don't just be too fixated on the big shots, the
mm.
big named companies. Yes, some of them pay well, but trust me, there are companies that pay better.
Yeah.
They are paid better that you
Mm,
probably would not know. But ask around, do your research. Don't for entry level, don't just be fixated on people that are paid so well. It might
mm,
really not help you that much because you just end up trying to want to and pass up opportunities that would help you. There's something I used to tell people that most companies that recruit, especially the ones that are well-paying companies, even if you get the opportunity to apply, maybe out of 10, maybe two that will get it. Most of the time, you need to study the pattern. You
okay.
need to study the pattern. Some of you say, I've applied to this job 1 million times. They've never called me. Have you even gone to do your research? What kind of people do they hire? I know of organizations that pay very well that they only hire from a group of schools. They will tell
Mm,
you, and you are always applying year in, year out. They don't call you. It's because you've not done your research. Go on LinkedIn, put the company's name, search all their employees. What do they have in common? You can begin to draw up the connections. It looks like this company only hires from 5 institutions in Nigeria. And your
mm.
institution is probably Adeomi International Upper Grade University. And they don't
Yeah.
hire from your school.
Mm,
Meanwhile, the opportunities you are passing them on. I once did a mini research that looks like that. I was investigating a particular company. I realized that this company only had people from a particular school, or you have worked in some specific companies before.
mm,
That's when it dawned on me, like, oh, so even if you kill yourself, if these parameters do not align, you probably never get in. And a lot of law firms in Nigeria also do that, where you just notice, oh,
mm.
if you've watched what's the suits,
Yeah.
you have an idea of what I'm talking about. That's the Abbey Specter and the like, where
Mm,
they already have the number of law firms that they hire from. So no matter how fantastic you are, it will take Abbey Specter bending the law for you to get into that kind of. And how many times would Abbey Specter, one of them, bend the law for you?
mm.
It's close to
Serious,
impossible,
that's
but
true.
you're not doing your research, so you're frustrated. I remember
Mm,
then when entry level from IFE, I worked very hard. I had a great GPA. I did aptitude test for the SHELL company.
mm,
And I was so excited. I ended up networking with somebody. I found out I got maybe a 90%. They had put on the portal that to be scheduled for interview or something. I was so excited. Except that interview will come in 3 years' time. I'm talking about more than 10 years ago. When
wow.
I researched and I found out back end, the person told me that, do you know that between 100%, people that got 100 over 100, by the time they got to 98, the quota was filled up.
Oh,
So I was
wow.
at home, jubilating that I got 90. The quota that I fall into for candidates was exhausted at 98%.
My God.
So you can imagine, and I was so fixated. So some of them, then you go through the school or you had worked in point A to be able to then get in as an experienced person. But some of us don't know these things. You will then get an opportunity to work in another company, but you say, oh, because it is not that company, I'm not doing. I'm waiting for this company to
Mm,
show up. That's you've not done your due diligence. You've not.
true.
So you need to research, and that's one of the things LinkedIn does for you. You need to go and look at if you have specific companies you are going for. Go and look at their people. What do they have in common? You see some companies that if you don't have an MBA, you are dreaming. You probably never get in. So it tells you
Mm,
what should you work towards. Some you see that everybody that has worked there has an MBA or has worked in one of the big fours or has a premium university degree. And here
yeah.
you are, you're from the university. You don't fall into all of the grass. But you
Mm,
can plot that graph if you do your research.
yeah.
It's okay, you know what? I'm working towards point B. If I go A, B, C, D, E, but most of us don't do this research. We just move. Oh, I want a
That's
remote
it.
job that pays in SS. Have you done your research to know what such
Mm,
companies are looking for? Have you?
mm,
Yes, there's a stroke of luck. There's a chance where, oh, there are exceptional cases. Maybe 1 out of 10 would be an anomaly to the pattern. But my dear, it's 1 out of 10, meaning there's still a
Mm,
9. Why are you chasing
mm.
1 out of 10 that is just luck or happenstance when there's a 9 that is methodological?
Yeah, true. Wow.
So that's my advice for that person. Do your research and it helps you plot your graph systematically.
I feel like this answer already flows into the third question, that how does she get opportunities outside? So I feel it's still the same thing. Research and
Yeah,
positioning and your network. I feel like those things
yeah.
play a key role. Yeah. All right, so I feel like most of the questions are similar. While we're trying to take advantage of the mixed breed and questions from across the universities in Nigeria, I feel like most of the questions you've already touched on them in those value-packed sessions. The next person, her name is Dorcas, and she's a recent graduate from Gombe State University, and she asked, how can she come across better opportunities? So I feel like it's still linked to what you just said. So it's almost like there's a pattern here. So it's more about just positioning yourself,
To
understanding
come
the
out of
strategy
our
behind it.
the network,
Mm-hmm.
it needs to come. So one thing most people, especially if they're a recent graduate, is your network will be filled with a lot of people from Gombe State University.
Yeah.
And that in itself, you're already setting yourself up for failure. So you need to position, extract yourself from that mix and begin to position strategically. So you went to Gombe
Mm.
State University, you're a recent graduate. Most of your friends are probably finished from Gombe State University. The WhatsApp groups that you belong to are probably filled with people from Gombe State University.
State
So you
University.
need to be intentional. So leverage social media to begin to connect
Mm.
with new groups. Let me go on Instagram.
Mm.
Where are the young people that are just finding a job? What groups do they belong to? Go plug yourself there. Because the probability that a good job in Lagos will be posted on a Gombe State WhatsApp group is highly unlikely because most of
Mm.
you, your parents, your friends, your families are in that state. So the opportunities that naturally will go towards them will be in that state. So
Mm.
you need to break out of your regular. You need to come out of your norm. That's one of the things NYC hopes to achieve by ensuring
Yeah.
that people don't serve where they grew up or where they schooled. But we all also want to remain in the places where we have been. So we
Yeah.
sort of
Yeah.
disrupted the arrangement the government had had. But you then need
Mm.
to intentionally step out of that circle into new spaces. I grew up in Ibadan, for example, and I remember then that when I was looking for, I schooled in Ife, OAU. I grew up and spent all my life in Ibadan. Interesting enough, I served in Ibadan.
Wow.
So all the opportunities that were coming my way were in Ibadan. See, one day I'm like, you know what? This is not working. Imagine I got a role after NYC. I was to be a PA to a chairman. Me as a PA, I had an assistant, and my
Wow.
salary was going to be 80,000 in
Wow.
Ibadan. My mom was excited. She was, I mean, as a then, she was like,
Yeah.
ah, take this one, that one. I'm like, eh, no. Then I got another job that was 60,000, but in Lagos. My mom
Mm.
was like, eh, why would you go to Lagos for 60,000 where you don't know anybody? Take this Ibadan job, 80K, you have your own office. Blah, 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 blah,
Mm.
blah, blah, blah. But I remember then that I told her something. I'm like, 80K, I have my own office. I'll be leaving from home, but I'll go to work Monday to Saturday. What is the probability that me that I'm PA to somebody, I have an assistant? What's the
Mm.
future? What does the future look like? What other opportunities exist in Ibadan? What does growth look like for me? I said, you
Mm.
want to know what? I'm not taking it. I'll go to Lagos for that 50K. She was like, you don't even have where you live and all of that. I said, but do you know the number of other? I trust that before I spend 3 months in Lagos, I will be getting other job opportunities. And because I'm already
Definitely.
in Lagos, it's easy for me to keep going for interviews. If I remain in Ibadan, if interview pop up, I'll think about, I'll take permission at work. I'll think about transport
Mm.
fare. Then I say, well, it's not what it is. I'll wait for another one. I'll wait for another one. But I can be in the same Lagos in a week. I will have gone for 7 interviews. Still, what I'm looking for shows up.
Yeah.
So you
Yeah.
need to reposition in such a way that if you want a remote job that pays in foreign currency, all you need to do is belong to several communities that have a lot of people that do remote jobs that pays in foreign currency. Because
Yeah.
within that community, they will share other opportunities that look like that. So, like I always tell people, you look like the company that you keep. You
Mm.
smell like the association of people around you. If the
Yeah.
people in your space are people that earn in millions of naira, even if you were earning 100,000, you will start becoming uncomfortable in 100,000. But because you
Yep.
belong to that community, you actually find people, you're in a community of 10 people that are all earning millions. You are the only one earning 100,000. Do you think if you want to post vacancy on that group, is 100,000 job you post?
No, never.
They'll probably come and post million jobs that they feel they are not interested in. And who will be the fortunate person to quickly start leveraging this opportunity? You.
Yeah, true.
So that's my advice to the person that asked that question.
Wow, so much drills in this. So that thing about your network determines your net worth. It's not a lie. Your
So,
association. Say if there are six wise people, you are the seventh wise person. And if you are surrounded by six foolish people, they are not six, they are seven because the person is the seventh
you are there.
foolish person. Yeah, so that's so profound. So this one is from Chimere. He's an early career starter. So he has already graduated from school and he has about 2 to 4 years of experience in his career path. And he has three in one question. So his own is a bit more advanced. So the first question is, what are the key drivers or factors for screening applicants? So I think you've already touched on that in your previous
Mm.
explanation. Then I feel like the next question he asked is, are there unique patterns for applying for jobs on success factor career portals? So could you please shed light on that?
Okay. So success factors and the like, they're like ATS, applicant tracking systems or software that help.
Mm,
There are those softwares that you click on submit application. There's already a DM
that's
waiting for you in
gone.
your inbox. You either say we'll get back to you or you are unsuccessful. And that's because
Mm,
such systems have been pre-programmed to meet up something. I.e., if your number of years of experience, for example, your CV is written in months or in a particular format. If the vacancy already says they need somebody that has 5 years experience, but you apply because you have 4 years, 11 months, 30 days, the ATS will probably screen you out because the
wow.
software has been programmed to say 5 years experience or nothing. So you
Mm,
instantly get a rejection. So
mm,
before you upload your regular CV into such software, you need to ensure that your CV dots all your I's and crosses all your T's. There
mm.
are some that are very in the beginning they told you um, employee the candidate was the somebody that is based in this one, that one, that one, that one. Then they go to you upload your software and say address. They already told you you're looking for somebody based in Lagos. You put your address or your state. What exactly did you smoke? What did you think would happen? And it happens to all of these remote jobs abroad, that you know that
Mm,
more than half of them don't want to hire Nigerians, for example.
mhm, mhm.
The moment you pick Nigeria, they are not coming back to you. So you
But
then need
sorry,
to know what exactly. Yes.
could we even talk about just divert a bit? Because I feel like this remote thing, it has been a pressing issue. Did some people go and offend the global space that they made one committee and said, anytime see Nigeria in remote work, just cancel it, please? Could you shed more lights?
So I recruited or I still recruit for a company that is based in Canada.
Okay.
And that company could have blacklisted my consult because of what Nigerians do or did. But luckily, we had in the last 1 year hired about 5 people for them. Three had commands, but the two other people were fantastic and so fantastic to the point whereby they could not cancel the whole country. But the MD told
Ah.
me, say, you know what, Nigerians are badly behaved. He doesn't want to hire Nigerians anymore. Blah 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 blah. Started from the scratch. They said they're going to pay in naira and not Canadian dollars. We tried to push for them to pay in Canadian dollars, but they said they wanted to pay in naira. No problem. We negotiated at least for the pay to be fair.
Mm,
Tell me why 1 month into the recruitment of this Nigerian, then this person comes to say, no, I want to be paid in Canadian dollars. One leg. Another one comes to say that they have management meeting at one time. During the recruitment, we are told you, are you comfortable with working with Canadian timeline? This one, that one, that one. Then you don't join a meeting day one. Next time you don't join. What's the problem? You have a headache, you've not been sleeping well. Didn't you know?
mm.
You think remote job is just a that? There's a
Yeah.
sacrifice to be made.
Yeah.
Then another one, they call you for something, you say, I'm in the market. When I'll send you when I get home. Those bad behavior, or they are doing a meeting, then unfortunately you keep dropping off the call. And you are the one presenting. Then you say there's no light. We've not had light for 3 days. So most of these
Mm.
companies cannot, they can't tolerate all of those excesses. You do
Yeah.
a remote job. What is your employer's business with you've not had light? What is your employer's business with something is wrong with your internet? The moment you signed up for a remote job, you should have internet like 4 or 5 different options.
Yeah.
You should never look for a workstation to work from.
Mm.
So these are some of the issues that they have with Nigerians. They'll tell you, yeah, is that they are badly PA so and they say with audacity to say, oh, I'm stressed, I've not been sleeping well. What did you think would happen from a remote job? I couldn't
Mm.
understand it because the idea the moment you sign up for a remote job is you are sacrificing your time difference for theirs. So you need to rework yourself. But you then
Mm.
go and complain to the same company again. You've not been sleeping well. The internet is bad. We've not had light for 7 days. They'll just say, well, no need. Let's go for people that don't that the problems of their country is not still light and internet.
Yeah.
So those are part of Nigerians who have bastardized it. I remember the same company when I was trying to push back to say they should pay in Canadian dollars, and they told me that the consults we were using before you guys said no, they should pay in naira. That much money will be too much for Nigerians. It was our
Wow.
same Nigerians that went to pay them back. Then I insisted to say no. Anyway, if you want to pay the candidate that amount, me as the company, you will pay my own consultation fee in Canadian dollars.
Mm.
They'll tell you that the other consults they reached out to in Nigeria said that money is too much, that will get it cheaper. So
Wow.
sometimes we are our own enemies, and our people too are not also professional enough in some cases. So if not for the other two candidates that were doing fantastically well, no error, no issues, they would have blacklisted an entire country.
Wow. And so many qualified people that actually are in search of these jobs will now be the victims of the character issues of 2 or 3 people. Well,
Absolutely.
that's not fair, but it is what it is, I guess. So I think the third question he was trying to ask is how important are certifications or courses that are outside of your career path. So he was probably trying to ask that, okay, maybe if you are doing engineering now, is there a link between that and probably taking certification courses, maybe in accounting and other things, and how that is important for the career path?
Okay, so sometimes, especially if you are, it does you more harm than good. Sometimes.
Mm,
So I pick up your resume, an accountant, then I see you are doing a presentation on project management. You are doing, and when they tell you to write a cover letter, you tell ChatGPT to write it. And ChatGPT itself does not understand the nexus between PMP that you are doing and what you're already studying. So you do not
accounting.
even leverage the opportunity to explain. You don't leverage it
Mm,
properly. Some people see it from out. What is sent, the message is sent to recruiters is you do not have clarity.
oh,
You don't know what you are doing. You are just playing guess game. You are just doing mini, mini, minimal. And nobody wants to hire somebody that is not sure of what they want to do.
mm,
So I always tell people, even if you have these certifications, look at the role you're applying for. If that certification does not align with that job, take it out. When you have a
mm,
job that is aligned with it, put it there. Because it's confusing. And most entry level people too have that problem where maybe they've done internship in accounting, then another 3 months they went to do HR, 1 month after they did graphic design. Yes, I get it that they're still trying to figure out
figure
what they
things.
want to do. But when you want to apply for a job, you don't then use a CV that has all of these so many things. In your mind,
Mm,
you feel like, oh, it positions you as you can do so many things at once. No, the communication the hiring company gets is yes, you are a jack of all trades, but you are a master of none, and you are still very confused in your journey.
mm,
So they want somebody that before they begin to invest in you and bring it into their company. They want somebody that is sure that this is the path they want to pursue
Mm-hmm.
before they hire such a person. So don't feel like it's an added advantage. There can be an accountant and also do graphic design. A sensible organization will not tell you balance the books in the morning, at night come and design for Instagram. You
Design
only find the
logo.
likes of Adeomi and Co Limited that will come and ask you to do that. No sensible company that pays you well. We want you to be all around like a confused person. No. So
Mm.
look at the path that you have chosen and look at the certification or the training that would help you in growing in that path. If you want to change path, fine, face the
Mm.
new path. But don't do a zigzag journey that leaves people confused. Because eventually it will be you find people's resume having 10 years experience. You now see how many years deal with the particular role you want to hire them for. Maybe 1 year. Then they wonder why they offer them entry level salary. It's because you have entry level experience.
Yeah, true. True. Wow. All right. So I think we'll try to compress some of the questions because I see that there are a lot of similarities here. So I think this one is it's a bit of a build up to what you just said, Ma. This is Daniel. He's a recent graduate from the University of Ibadan, and he wants to know where can he get the best templates for his CVs.
So this question is always funny to me. You know why? Because in reality, there's nothing called best template.
Mm,
People are just going to use it. There's nothing called best template. However, there are guidelines for a good resume or a good CV. But there's
mm,
nothing called the best template that will land you the job in your world. No. People are just using it to cash out. It's marketing uh, tactics. But
yeah.
there are guidelines. A
Mm,
good resume has guidelines that are consistent, regardless of the format of the CV. There are things that are consistent of a good CV. So you can have a CV that looks in a way, and another one that looks a different way, and I can tell you that the two of them are good, provided it meets with the guidelines. So there's no one resume that is the best and others are trash. No, but there
mm,
are basic guidelines. One is the format you're using is the ATS friendly, meaning minimal coloring, no pictures, no graphs. Da, 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 da. Another one is does it help you amplify your achievements?
mm,
Amplify your achievements, meaning very little, you are not putting job descriptions, you are putting quantifiable achievements. Does that also is it coincide? Is
mm.
it a 10-page CV or is it 1 to 2 page resume that if I pick up gives me an idea of where you've been and what you've done?
Okay.
Those are the basic guidelines. So there is no best in the world. No. You can share with me 5 different templates and I'll tell you these 5 templates are great if they tick all those guidelines, some of which I just mentioned. Otherwise, as you are buying one CV template today for 5K, you are buying the next one for 10K, you are buying the one after that. Meanwhile, the content you still want to put into the template is garbage.
Mm.
I
So
hope
it's all
now you
about the
understand.
content and the experience, not necessarily the template. Wow,
Mm.
powerful. Yeah,
So
so
once
I
you
think
send
the
whatever they are doing to the guidelines, you're good.
mm, all right, ma'am. Thank you very much. So I feel this last question for this segment, I feel like it's somewhat related to what you said, but I still want to just ask it. So this is Christiana. She's a recent graduate from your school, Obafemi Awolowo University, and she wants to know how can she divert her certificate to be relevant in another field that is not related to her degree. So probably like maybe she studied maybe accounting, like that example now, and she has an accounting certificate and she wants to go into engineering now, and maybe the certificate is more of ACA and all those things. How can she divert and everything towards that field?
Awesome. So I'm a perfect example for that person. I have a BSc and an MSc in geography.
Wow.
But the moment I knew that I wanted to do HR, in fact, even despite the fact I was doing BSc geography, I knew I wanted to do HR. I still went ahead to do an MSc in geography because I
Wow.
wanted a backup plan. I wanted a
Okay.
backup plan. But for us, the moment to pick a career path, pick certifications in that space, Like I said in the beginning, the world is evolving. Most of the time, apart from highly technical roles, anybody hardly cares. You can study Yoruba in university and be a graphic designer in my company. I cannot be bothered. Can you design? If you
Mm,
can design,
true.
don't worry about Yoruba. Yoruba will be all right. You studied accounting, but you've gone ahead to do certifications in software engineering, and you can actually do software engineering properly in terms of your skills. Remember, I said the world is moving from being qualification dependent to skills dependent.
Yeah.
So whatever you studied in the past, great, awesome, put it by the side. Now begin to build skills in your chosen career path, and you are good.
Mm,
That's all. So
mm,
that is in the past. Just begin to now move forward. What trainings are you doing? What the certifications are you writing? What areas are you interning? In which spaces are you volunteering? Begin to write the story of where you want to go.
mm.
That's it.
Wow. True. True. So I believe you're hearing what she has to say now, so that maybe you can already build Christiana is an opportunity for you to take lessons. Okay. So we just want to go a bit deeper as we gear towards the end. I know you've worked closely with top companies and rising professionals, but many students and early career starters that are listening to these are Christians, and they are also trying to figure out how to honor their faith while still growing their career. So, what are the common mistakes you've seen Christians make in the workplace that you could shed light on, please?
Hmm. So there is a lot, but first of all, start from alignment in values. Very
Mm,
important. So what do I mean when I say alignment in values? So you are a Christian, you have your own faith, you have your personal values, then you choose to go and work for, I hope they don't come after me, a company, a betting company.
mm.
You can already see there's a misalignment,
Mm,
right? It's
yeah.
not me that will tell you to go and resign. It's you that know how you got yourself in that space. It's you that will
Yeah.
know how to get yourself out of it. I've interviewed people before that told me, okay, they were leaving and taking a pay cut
Okay.
to join, yes, taking a pay cut to join another organization I was interviewing for. And I'm like, why are you taking a pay cut? And said, that company does not align with their values and they think they need to get out.
Mm,
So they were willing to take a pay cut to move out because there was conflict in the values. Another
yeah.
very popular one that I would like to talk about, especially as we say, a lot of us are Christians. So organizations, we have events. So
Mm,
maybe there's an event for the board and senior managers. And it happens to be a nighttime event and nighttime, a lot of networking, engagement, and all of that. And you
mm,
then say that, oh, I'm a Christian, I will not show up. Forgetting that a lot of decisions that are made at ground floor in the office, they were concluded in those kind of meetings.
mhm,
It's a different space where you say, I'm a child of God, there are some things I will not do. I, for one, will show up in such events. Even no matter how brief, I will show up and register my presence to the people that matter in the room.
yeah. Yeah.
I might not spend the fancy or start doing whatever they are doing that I feel is not in alignment with my Christian values.
Yeah.
But I will show up because wisdom is also profitable to direct.
Mm,
Nobody is going to open your mouth and put a figure in your mouth. Nobody is going to force you into a room.
mm,
But I am going to show up because at that moment, you are representing an organization. One
mm,
MD once told me to send a senior manager to go and send a booking in the US with a client they've
mm,
been trying to track down in Nigeria for a long time. They're unable to track the client down. So they said the client was going to be at an event in the US. So they sent this senior manager there. This senior manager was in
mm,
the US. This person did everything. She got to the US, was trying to go everywhere, everywhere. She couldn't get the time wanted to get the PA of the newspaper around network person, thinking, you know what? Can this be in this bar between 9 p.m. and this time PM? You be alone, you like to drink a champagne in a corner
mm,
by this time. That's the only
mm.
window I'm going to. Guess what? She did not show up. She was like, it's against values to be out in a club by 9 p.m.
Okay.
Eventually, she spent 5 days. She was unable to see this person, and the person flew to maybe Spain or something. Then she came back to the company to come and tell them that same story. And guess
Mm.
what? She was fired.
Wow. Mm.
Because remember, the business is a business to make money. You had an assignment to do. Did they force you after that meeting? Would they have opened your mouth and poured the champagne into it or something? But you did not deliver your end of the bargain. So sometimes as Christians, we need to leverage the help of the Holy Spirit in navigating some tough situations, particularly in the
Yeah.
world of work. Remember that the world of work is business out there. They want to make money. Some things will conflict with your faith, some things will require the help of the Holy Spirit to help you in navigating such situations. No matter how
Mm.
Christian, the MD told me that we fired her. I'm like, oh. And the MD was like, are we a joke? Are we, so we flew her abroad to go and do what? That did they tell us to go and hug the man or go and it's for you to the window that was given to you, it was for you to leverage it and seal the deal. Then come back to
Mm.
Nigeria. Will you go to the club the next day? No. You would go into the club to seal a deal in 1 hour. Does it totally change your faith? This is New Testament, we're not in the Old Testament. Would thunder strike you down in that 1 hour of sealing a deal?
Mm.
And she lost her job. Because the fact there's just millions to send to go close the deal, then you come back to tell me the 1 hour window. So we need to leverage the place of wisdom. We need to be we need to let our Christian work not become a religious work, for lack of a
Mm.
better word, for it not to be performative,
Okay.
not to be like the Pharisees and Sadducees where everything is eye service really and
Mm.
not actual walk with God. Because Christianity is a lifestyle. It's religiosity that gives you all this, don't do this, don't do that. I mean, so many times in the Bible, Jesus went to the house of Zacchaeus. So many things. So we need to leverage the help of the Holy Spirit in navigating some tough times, particularly as you grow in your career. It's easy
Yeah.
when you are still a junior, mid-level, but as you rise in your career, where they speak of decision making, you need to be careful, you need to be prayerful, you need to leverage the help of the Holy Spirit because sometimes too, it's a slippery slope
Yeah.
between you losing your and you being caught up in the world. You see different things that they tell you it's just 1 naira, you just add your own 1 naira to it. I mean, God wants you to be wealthy and all of that. But you know, if you're truly a child of God, you know when you're crossing the lines that you should not be crossing. So it is really for us as Christians to ask ourselves, am I being a true child of God or am I just being religious? Or am I just being
Mm.
performative? Lord bless
Mm.
each and everyone.
Amen. Oh, amen. I really like what you said, about like leaning on the Holy Spirit for help because there's no hard and fast rule to this. You can't say this is the template. When you enter this situation, look left, look right, jump down. No, everybody has their individual work, and it's the degree to which you are sensitive to hear. Okay, this is the way you should go. Yeah, walk in this path. So, like that example you gave, we can't really know per se the intention. Probably she might have had a good intention in her heart, but the actions and the resultant effect didn't really give her permission or opportunity to tell everybody that this was the reason why. So I feel also to our viewers, because not everybody is going to be working in Nigeria. A lot of us might be working with, people from different continents, and we might have values that might not align. And I think it's also important for us to also pray before we go for certain jobs, because that will also help you before like you get into the system where it looks like it's a bit tough for you to turn back. And sometimes when you are in the system, sometimes it's deliberate that God put you there for you to learn a lesson or to cause a change or transformation. So yes, this has been an awesome time. This has been a value-packed session. Thank you very much, Ma. I don't know if you still have any final words for the audience before, we wrap this up. Is there anything you'd like to share with the viewers out there, Ma?
I think the only thing I would just like to say at the beginning, particularly if you're trying to get into the corporate space, it might appear hard. A lot of things might not seem to work out. Oh, they've asked me to do my resume, they've asked me to say this in interview, they've asked me to do this and that. It's still not working. One thing I always say to people is that is not the time to throw in the towel. More often than not, the 50% of the reasons to get rejected, 50% of it have absolutely nothing to do with you. Have
Mm,
absolutely nothing to do with you. So just keep knocking, keep pushing, keep evaluating yourself, keep doing your own self-assessment till that one opportunity would come that all the factors are dependent on you and you will tick all the boxes.
mm,
Till that opportunity comes, just keep showing up. Also, don't um don't compare. Don't when you're comparing yourself with other people, do it from the point of you're trying to become better, not from a competitive point of view. Otherwise, it will drive you to frustration. If you
mm,
feel you are doing very well today, you're probably earning maybe 3 million monthly. The day you hear somebody same year's experience earning 5 million, you go into panic attack. You start acting up at
mm,
work, start complaining, you start doing all of that. It's going to be your downfall. It's going to because
mm,
it's always going to be someone who's better than you. It's always going to be so let those things inspire you and not drive you to the point of frustration or unhealthy rivalry and resentment, so to say.
mm,
The sky is just the
mm.
starting point.
Wow. Awesome. Awesome. Wow. Thank you very much, Mrs. Adeomi Alfonso. This has been a beautiful session, a rich session at that. And to our viewers, I'm sure this has inspired you. You've learned so much. And if you've learned so much from this rich session, don't keep it to yourself. Share it, like, subscribe, and feel free to put a smile on the faces of others. I hope that you have an amazing time in your work as a student, in your early careers, and as a postgraduate student. I'm wishing you all the best. See you soon, and bye for now.